guys so much again for being here. Now let's bring on Jenny.
When I was in 7th grade, I picked my career as a broadcast meteorologist after seeing a local meteorologist in person, and then with the help of my parents, I checked off one thing after the other. Now I find myself 6 years later in a situation where I'm kind of sick of sacrificing myself for my career, so I'm kind of ready for a change, but I'm terrified about what that would mean and how to go about that. So I would love to work with Jess to tap into my inner voice to kind of figure out what my future holds.
How can we help you today, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I work in television news, and I do the weather, and
What's our forecast for today?
we were supposed to get snow, but I don't know where it is.
Hopefully it doesn't come, but all right.
I know, yeah, maybe because I'm here.
Yeah.
It's like magic. So I picked that career when I was in 7th grade. I saw a local TV meteorologist do his thing, and I thought, I'm gonna do that. And then I sort of single-handedly picked things for the rest of my life, extra science classes, extra math classes. I went into college, got the internship, and now I've been in the business for 6 years, and the schedule is killing me. I get chronic headaches because of the hours. I have to wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm going to bed on Friday and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. so that I can wake up at 2 in the morning. So I'm kind of at the point where I don't know what to do next. I don't know how to quit that because I put all my eggs in the one basket, and I just don't know how to kind of like move forward. So for 2 years I felt stuck.
Is anyone else feeling stuck? Show of hands, yeah, pretty much. Good portion of the audience. Okay. All right, inner voice, heart or gut. Were you feeling it?
Think heart.
Okay, so you're just gonna project down there. Am I okay?
My heart is pounding.
Yeah. So you breathe out when you get the mind, because that is like the checking in. It's like you're paying attention.
My heart is like.
Okay. Am I safe?
Yes.
Okay. Am I okay? Am I loved?
Yes.
Am I safe, okay, and loved even with the career I have right now?
Yes.
When will I know it's time to leave, or how will I know when it's time to leave this job?
You'll hear it.
I'll hear it. So has it happened yet? Have we reached that point now?
Yes and no.
Okay, how yes?
I don't know.
Okay, how no?
More?
There's more in this job or in meteorology.
I hear yes, but I'm not sure if it's my mind.
Is it my mind?
Yes and no.
What part of it's the inner voice? Tell me the inner voice part.
Reaching?
Reaching. What is reaching for what?
More.
Who is reaching for more, the mind or the inner voice?
Mind.
Okay. The mind is reaching for more. What inner voice do you want out of my career?
Joy.
Joy. Can I have joy in the job I have right now?
Yes.
I can?
Yes.
Even with the fatigue and the 2 a.m. and
Yes.
why is this emotional for me right now? Listen to the voice's answer for this. You can feel the emotions. I'm not stopping them. I just want to know where it's.
It's here a long time.
It's been a long time. Of joy or not joy?
Both.
Both. And it's okay to stay there for a little while longer.
Yes.
What can I let go of so that I tap into more of that joy while I'm there for whatever remains?
Unhappiness.
What story is my mind telling that's creating the unhappiness?
That loneliness.
What's lonely about this job?
Time.
The time it takes to do the job is making me feel lonely?
The time away.
Away from whom?
Family.
Family. Is making me feel lonely.
Yes.
But I could get rid of that feeling and still stay in the job.
Yes.
What would that require?
Mind shift.
Mind, okay, how can I shift the mind on this subject? How can I see, the great question to ask about a subject, how can I see this differently?
Blessing is the word?
Blessing. Where is the blessing in this job that gets me up at 2 a.m. and gives me chronic fatigue, headaches, and all this stuff, and takes me away from my family?
I just hear heart.
Heart. Do I love doing it?
Yes.
At the core. How are you feeling?
Emotional?
Yeah, let's ask the mind how it's catching up to all of this. What are you realizing?
I guess I sort of always knew that there were aspects that I really like. It's just the parts that I don't like that make it almost unbearable to go, to not want to wake up in the morning, to not want to be there. I love some of the people I work with. I don't like the criticism aspect of it. You know, people will email in because they don't like my hairdo that day. So
what a great inner voice connection they have. Because really, is their inner voice hating your hair? No, it's just their minds.
And I think since I started
They're
listening
bruised.
to this show, I've sort of realized that I don't have to listen to them, or they're just talking.
Well, just ask, where does the criticism from the hair come from?
I hear them.
Them, but where in them? Their minds or their inner voices?
Mind.
Yeah. Why would their minds criticize the hair? Why do they spend the energy?
Their hair.
It's got a sense of humor. They don't even like their own hair, let alone yours. If they can't like their own hair, how can they like yours? They don't even have it. They're bruised. They're projecting. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Live and let live. Only the wounded hurt the others. They're bruised. Mm-hmm. And it's not their inner voice, because the inner voice doesn't hold on to those pain body beanbags.
Yeah. I think over the past couple of years, I've sort of thought, you know, what are the aspects that I like that I could carry over to something else?
Yeah.
And I haven't thought of anything else that I would want to do.
Well, you haven't thought of it. Inner voice, is there something else I want to do right now?
I hear yes and no.
Yes, what?
Baby?
Okay, baby? Okay. And how no?
I hear contentment.
So I can be content and also, can I be content and also have a baby?
Yes.
So am I just evolving into a new chapter?
Yes.
And that's okay?
Yes. I feel like I have a lot of resistance to this because I feel like since I'm Roman Catholic, you're like told don't have a baby, it'll ruin your life until you're like a certain age. I feel like I'm not that age
Wait,
yet.
so them stories, them stories ain't keeping your mind or your heart happy.
Right.
Inner voice, do you have an age for me to have a baby? Do you have a timeline for me?
No.
No. Do you want me to have a baby? Do you want to have a baby, inner voice?
Maybe.
Is it okay for me to listen to you instead of the Roman Catholics? Whoever they are, I mean, like which Roman Catholic are we talking about? Like we gotta like point to someone. The Pope? I don't think he cares.
I heard like a yes and like joyful like before when you asked if I could or if I wanted to.
So it was a joyful yes.
It was like a maybe if it's joyful.
Okay. And I could have joy and have a baby.
Yes and no.
How yes?
Experience.
Yeah. How no?
Resistance.
What's from the mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well it's a resistance making mechanism. That's what it does. It hates some people's hair and whatever other crazy things.
Yeah.
So we came into this seat with the idea of smoothing out the resistance to the current job. We've also realized there's some new things unfolding around your life. It's bigger than just the job, around the baby as well. But it seems like right now, to recap, that it's saying, tell me if I'm wrong, stay where you are for now, but drop a lot of the stories that are holding on to things that, like, okay, there's pain and there's suffering, okay? So 2 a.m., let's call that for this situation pain, all right? But there's suffering, which is thinking about 2 a.m., all the hours before and all the hours after 2 a.m. happens, right? So you get up, it's like you bruise your leg. The story you tell and the repeating of that story is the suffering. This Brussels sprout, right? Swallowing 2 a.m., or you're going to sit on 2 a.m. in the back of your mouth.
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you shouldn't leave the job eventually, but the story of the aspects you don't like are making it unbearable, even though the actual situation's not that bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess I just struggle at how to.
The mind struggles at?
The mind in me struggles with how to release all of those things that I've then connected. Because then I say, or the mind in me thinks, okay, I've had these weird sleeping hours, it gives me chronic headaches, now I have hormonal issues. So then like all of these things are dominoing, and my mind doesn't know how to, I guess.
Put the Jenga pieces back together.
Yeah.
So inner voice, how do I untangle that whole thing?
I just have this image of like me with my nails, like my fingernails, like trying to pull apart this giant, you know, like when you have like a thing in your hair and you're like, okay, I gotta get all these like things out. So
Half of my head was like that this morning, I get it.
So that's like the image I had in my head.
How can I do that in a way that doesn't hurt my hair?
Kind of like peaceful ease.
Peaceful ease. What does that look like for me on a daily basis right now?
Breathing.
Breathing. Do you guys see this? I know this is simple and hard, because going from 28 cycles a second to 9 is a huge jump. And the breath is the avenue. It's the way. And you don't have to spend 10 hours a day meditating to get there. It can take a few deep breaths to get there. The meditation aspect of it is the practicing. It's like lifting the weights at the gym so that you can build a house. But you don't have to go to the gym to be strong and build a house and lift the timber, right? You can just be working as a carpenter in a house, and you will be strong because you're going to have to do things that require strength. Or you can go to the gym to work on your biceps and your strength so it's easy when you go to the house. That's like meditation. It's not the thing, it's just the thing that builds the strength to do it when you need it later. But it's not a requirement. In the moment, it's when it's needed. So it doesn't have to. So breathing. Ask this, how many times should I breathe? How many breaths does it take?
There's so many numbers coming. It's like 5, 14.
Which one feels most authentic inner voice?
5.
There you go. 5 breaths. So if the mind's like, oh my God, now I have to start to like get up at 1:30 in the morning so I can do my meditation, you don't have to. It said 5 breaths. Could you do 5 breaths? I think the Japanese study says 6, but your inner voice has got an edge on it, so 5. There you go. 5 deep breaths. It's not easy to remember to do it and then choose to, because that car's going fast. But it's not more complicated than that. The mind makes things it's very limited and very complicated. It's looking at the net and like the whole like little hair knot, like you said, and it's trying to look at every single strand and straighten it all out. But when you actually straighten out your hair, you don't even have to look at it. And if you just like give it some time, it'll work its way out naturally without even thinking about where the hairs are. Your mind is looking at every single little hair and every chain of like this hair goes in this way and then it got stopped in this one. You don't even do that, right? When you actually get a hair knot out, you don't have to stare at every hair and go look at that loop and then it went on that one and then this thing. It's just breathe 5 breaths and just give it a chance to unwind. As I go forward with these 5 breaths when things come up, will you show me when it's time to have children and change my career?
Yes.
How will I know when you're telling me it's time for those things?
Feel.
Feel. What will I feel?
Joy.
For doing them.
Yes.
So it's not going to come from pain or suffering or crying or headaches.
No.
It's going to come from joy.
Yes.
All right. Every time I feel the pain side of it, I just know take 5 breaths.
Yes. And pause. I hear pause.
Pause. Okay. How do you feel?
Pretty
now
good.
You know now what the signal is. Those things will change. You are not stuck. You will shift when you feel joy on those subjects. Any other moment before that that's not joy, you now know is 5 deep breaths and pause. Not complicated, but not necessarily easy in the action of that moment when it's ramped up to high beta, but not more complicated. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
One of the realizations that really struck me, not only in this conversation, but in the conversations we've been having all day, is that it is in doing the damn work, right? It is in doing the work of breathing. And I don't mean doing like hard work, but I mean stopping and breathing, that all of this happens. And so to have that, not difficult, but not easy moment where you're like, okay, I can stop. It is okay, even in this crazy email, you know, my kid's screaming in the next room, the water's boiling over, oh my God, I'm gonna like freak out. Okay, stop, breathe. It's in doing it, that thing, that so much can come. So thank you for having that moment and pointing that out again. It's been a theme that I've really pulled through.
Did you have a realization while watching? We want to hear about it. Please send us a message at realizations@jesslively.com. May something wonderful happen to you today.